Welcome to Louisville, Kentucky, as we get set for a great East-West matchup in the USL Championship. It's the league's leading goal-scoring team, Louisville City, against the fifth stingiest defensive unit, Colorado Springs. Michael Watring joined by former Guyana midfielder Chris Nurse and our entire crew. Hope you can come in and stay a while with us here tonight. Lou City hasn't played in 13 days, but they have lost 3 of their last 5 after not being able to convert against Oakland on July 6th.
Yeah, and one thing about Louisville City that we all know, normally after they have a defeat, they come back with vengeance the following game. And having a little bit of break, 13 days off, they're going to be out with a bite between their teeth tonight. They're going to want to take revenge on this team in front of their home fans. They're going to want a big performance. So it's going to be an interesting night for Colorado Springs.
The boys in purple have not lost back-to-back matches in nearly a calendar year. And their goal scoring comes from just about everywhere but our player profile tonight, presented by Commonwealth Credit Union, is the league's second leading goal scorer, Wilson Harris.
Yeah, and it's no surprise where they are in the table. Every team needs a striker who can get 20 goals a season if you're going to be a regular season champion or champion in the playoffs. And Wilson Harris has been that guy so far this season. 11 goals so far, just over the halfway mark of the season. He's on tally to hit 20 plus goals this season.
Time to take a look at Colorado Springs on the other side. They would get an early goal from Zach Zandy, but for the first time in their last 16, they would falter against Birmingham.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, it's such a very stingy defense. They don't often give much away. Zach Zandy got the go-ahead goal, and then it was just an off night for goalkeeper Herrera. 2 big mistakes cost them the game. Birmingham were able to come back and take the game 2-1 from 2 similar errors from the goalkeeper.
In the 84th minute, it would be Stefano Pino that would win it. James Chambers said he felt like it was 3 points dropped. Easily could have had a 3-2 or 4-2 win if they converted their chances. Zach Zandy has scored in back-to-back matches, his first 2 goals of the year.
Yeah, and for Colorado Springs, it's so important that they're able to have different players who are able to chip in on the goal scoring. Zach Zandy has 2 goals in his past 2 games. Obviously, Damas is the leader right now with his team with 8 goals so far this season.
Lou City had been on the road for 7 of its last 10. They're back at home where they're 7-1 this season. Colorado Springs has only taken 8 points in road matches this year. What happens tonight? We'll have the starters and the opening kickoff here from Louisville, Kentucky when we return.
All-wheel drive doesn't just mean off-roading, it means everyday living. That's why Toyota gives you the power of choice, with a choice of powertrains on the best-in-class Tundra, including the 437 horsepower iForce Max, which delivers the kind of summer fun Tundra is known for. Now get up to $2,000 customer cash on Tundra, or choose 1.99 APR financing, or a great low lease on Tundra. The choice is yours. Toyota, let's go places.
Summer is heating up with beach vacations, road trips, backyard barbecues, and fireworks. So fuel your summer with MyCard, only from Commonwealth Credit Union. MyCard gives you 3 points for every dollar you spend on transportation and travel, and 1.5 points for everything else, all with no annual fee, no foreign transaction fees. Don't have MyCard? Don't flip out. Flip the balance with a balance transfer and fuel your summer with MyCard, only from Commonwealth Credit Union. Here, we see you differently.
How do you get your news?
Is WDRB the soundtrack to your morning routine?
Or you can scroll on the go with the WDRB News app.
If you've already cut the cord, start streaming our news on WDRB Plus.
Maybe you like to read a more in-depth story and you use WDRB.com.
When weather's the biggest story of your day, the WDRB Weather app has video forecasts and radar.
However you choose to get your news, WDRB is the source.
More than 27,000 Kentucky and Indiana children receive cancer treatments from St. Jude Children's Research Hospital.
Join WDRB in the fight against childhood cancer with the St. Jude Dream Home giveaway.
Buy your ticket now for a chance to win this new home right here in Kentucky. Visit WDRB.com and click on the St. Jude Dream Home tab to enter.
Every dollar we raise will help save a child's life and ensure that no family at St. Jude Children's Research Hospital receives a bill for treatment.
We welcome you back here to Louisville, Kentucky, in what should be an excellent matchup tonight. Lou City and Colorado Springs have met twice before, both in Colorado Springs. This is the first time These sides meet in Kentucky as we take a look at the 3-5-2 formation for Lou City here tonight.
Yeah, and one of the concerns for Louisville City has been their ability to keep clean sheets in their past 5 games. They've conceded 10 goals in 5 games, and they're playing with a back 3, which when they're defending, if Morris and McFadden are able to drop back and turn it into a 5, it's going to give them a little bit of stability. If they push on and they're high all the time, and it's going to be very difficult for them to transition to defense, they're going to be a little bit open at the back. So it's going to be interesting to see how they address the number of goals that they've conceded in the past 5 games.
Conversely, for Colorado Springs, here's how they'll look this evening.
Yeah, and they've been fairly strong. Even when we look back to the last game they lost against Birmingham, they got the go-ahead goal through Zandy. It was 2 mistakes from Herrera. Formation-wise, they're fairly strong. It's just going to be very interesting to see if they're able to capitalize on Louisville's defensive woes. But obviously, we know top striker like Harris, defenders, Mahoney and Rue are going to have to be on top of their game tonight also.
Our official tonight is Mohammed Hassan. And we're just about ready to kick things off. Lou City out in the purples. And it's the all-whites for Switchbacks here this evening. Everybody gets sent up here. Well, let's light this candle here on this evening. Colorado Springs gets possession first. Michael Watring, Chris Nurse, and our crew invite you to come and hang out with us tonight as Louisville City hosts Colorado Springs Switchbacks.
And of course, depending on how results go tonight, there could be a new Eastern Conference leader with Charleston currently playing at the moment also. 0-0 Miami FC, sitting just 1 point behind Louisville right now.
Lou City has been so good this year, but Danny Cruz said that this has been their most inconsistent stretch, and not just because they've lost 3 of their last 5.
Yeah, and that's a...
Damas pokes it, Lost stops it, stumbling in the box, and a foul is whistled as Zandy goes to ground. Well, what a great chance early here for the Switchbacks.
Yeah, it's a fantastic chance for the Switchbacks. And the problem is, this is the chance, this is what they needed to get the win in this game. They needed to get the go-ahead goal early. It's a great chance here from Damas. Just needed to lift it over the keeper, rushing out. So that turns out to be a great save, but what better way to start the game than to possibly go ahead in the first 60 seconds.
Promptly challenging Damian Loss, the 2023 MLS Next Pro Goalkeeper of the Year. Danny Cruz said that the speed of the game a tick quicker, but on this occasion, Loss strong in his opening moment of the night. Well, last time Lou City was here at home was Rhode Island. They gave up 5 goals and a 5-2 loss.
And I think that's given some teams in the league a little bit of confidence when they come here, knowing that there's potential to score goals against Louisville City. Opening 60 seconds, Colorado Springs haven't come and sat back and tried to be a defensive block and be passive. They've been going at it from the front for the opening 2 minutes, really taking the game to Louisville City in their home stadium.
Immediately kickstarts our opening corner kick of the night here for Lou City. Corners sponsored by Wi-Fi. It's Taylor Davila. He and his brother both starting tonight in the midfield. Former Cal Bear swings this ball around everybody. It's headed to the sideline. Foster gets the opening touch. And pressure right back on. Dia had it for a moment. Davila again. Flag up here for offside on Amadou Dia.
Dia operating, well, finds himself on the right side of the field, but we know that he's very much a lefty all the way. It's going to be interesting to see if he stays on this side or if he finds his way back to his natural left side.
Commonwealth Credit Union. To learn more about how we could help you meet your financial goals, visit WeSeeYouDifferently.com. That's WeSeeYouDifferently.com. Thomas, keep an eye on him. Has been in great form and a big reason why Colorado Springs has turned its year around. Losses in each of the first 5 now back in a spot where they're tied for 5th in the West. James Chambers saying that they're more than relevant now. Here's a foul and an easy call. Let's take a look at tonight's weather report, brought to you by Advanced ENT. 82 degrees, a little bit of wind, but not a bad night here in Kentucky to watch this matchup.
It's actually great weather for the peak of summer.
Yeah, for this time of the year, and certainly James Chambers talked about that. Playing at this time of the year, sometimes you have to dictate your play a little bit differently.
Yeah, sometimes it can be just as brutal for the fans, right? Sometimes it's 95 degrees. The sun's burning you up in those stands. I'm sure they're all enjoying it tonight.
This long ball will elude its intended target and trickle out. This should be a high-tempo, high-pace matchup. When these two teams click, they're aggressive, they're high-pressured, and the work rate for both sides is extremely high, and certainly expect this to be one of the more entertaining matches on the docket this weekend in the USL Championship.
And when you mentioned it to James Chambers when we spoke to him earlier in the week about a potential 3 points here could take them into 2nd position, he kind of blushed, he chuckled a little bit. He didn't want to get too far ahead of themselves, but that's the realistic situation that Colorado Springs have found themselves in. If they're able to pick up 3 points tonight, they would jump up into 2nd position in the Western Conference.
The West seems to be wide open right now. Meanwhile, the East on the other side, you mentioned it, Charleston, Lou City at the top. Tampa looming, though. They lurk sitting in the 3rd position.
Yeah, I think the one thing we just cannot get our heads around between the two conferences is the differential in the goal differential. You're looking at Colorado Springs, who tonight are sitting on +3 goal differential, competing against Louisville, who are sitting on +24 differential. So for some reason, there's been a much better goal differential for the teams at the top of the Eastern Conference this year in comparison to the teams at the top of the Western Conference.
Yeah, you have a team like Pittsburgh sitting out of the playoffs right now. They're -4. That's better than 3 of the 8 playoff teams in the West at this juncture in the season. Lou City's goal differential +24 is more goals than 14 of the 24 teams in the championship. So their ability to score at a high volume has been extremely impressive. And looking for the opener here as they begin their charge.
Yeah, I just think one area where he
takes a ricochet, and Christian Herrera cradles this.
One area where Louisville City need to tighten up, not necessarily want to tighten up, they need to tighten up the defense is in the goals conceded. They've conceded 10 in their past 5 games, which isn't playoff form, is not regular season champions form, and unless they tighten up, then they're going to see Charleston probably close that gap and overtake them sooner rather than later. So I think for sure they want to be addressing the defensive woes that they've been having over the past 5 games in training over the 2 weeks they've been off. And I think maybe it's a job of the fullbacks to get back in and tuck in alongside the 3 a little bit quicker when they lose possession, because we know on the right-hand side, Tosh can be exposed in 1v1 situations for speed. Dia not so much on the outside on the left, but he's more of a fullback who wants to go up and down. He's not so much of a left-sided centre-back, so he's having to restrain himself from his natural tendencies, which could be why they're conceding so many goals right now.
Danny Cruz admitting that he doesn't want to get away from the DNA of high press. They can commit the foul here, and it'll be Christian Herrera, the 27-year-old from New Mexico, ready to loft this ball forward.
Yeah, you can see when Louisville high press, they almost press with a front 3 with Davila, Harris, and Serrano. James, we also spoke to him about he likes his teams to also high press, and we spoke about, look, in the heat of the summer, it's a little bit different from March, April, even May, when the temperature's a little bit cooler in different places all over the country. Now it's pretty much steaming hot everywhere. The players kind of have to pick their moments to press aggressively, and then they have to know the right moments to keep their shape and stay disciplined and compact and organized. They cannot press consistently for 90 minutes. It's not going to be effective, and it's not going to happen.
Zandy shot ricochets into the clutches of Damian Loss.
I think what you find with teams that are committed to relentlessly presses that maybe they'll have a strong 30 minutes and then the battery runs out quickly and then they leave themselves open for the remainder of the game. So it's definitely a case of picking your moments, when to press and when to stay organized and tight and compact.
Lou City hasn't allowed a goal in the opening half hour at home this season. Nearly gave one up in the opening 45 seconds. Adamas found his way in. Serrano continues on the overlap, looking for Harris, instead guided away.
And that's the confidence that Louisville City will have in the attacking third. They know if they can provide good service to Harris or find him in the right areas, they're going to get goals. It's not a matter of if, it's more a case of when. They just need to be able to find him in the box. He has the hot foot right now. 11 goals so far this season. He's their go-to guy.
Sitting on 60 in his USL Championship career. Fans always great here in Louisville. 10th minute of play, scoreless between Lou City and Colorado Springs. This is the third time these teams met. First time in Louisville. Last year, it was a win for Lou City at Winder Field, 3-2. Martin Powles would score the game winner in the 88th minute. Michael Watring, Chris Nurse, and our team watching this one with you. Good to have you on board with us tonight in the USL Championship, one of the 4 on the docket.
Couple people on the Louisville City team picking up accolades. Serrano with the mid-season young player of the season award, mid-season awards, and Danny Cruz with head coach mid-season awards. Of course, this is not going to mean anything if they don't win the championship or win the playoffs come October, November time. But it could be a sign of the direction that they're heading in. Now they have to go along and make sure they finish off the job to sustain the mid-season accolades that they've been rewarded with.
Louisville has been to 9 consecutive Eastern Conference finals. This year is different than last year. They only won 14 matches all of last season. They're creeping up on that tally right now, entering with a league-high 12. Taylor Davila looks for his options. Jake Morris steps out and then crushes one, but well over everything, and maybe a little bit impatient there as Colorado Springs was sitting back.
Yeah, and that's what Louisville City will be forced into. It's not the worst option. Colorado Springs are doing a good job of keeping their shape and staying compact and being difficult to break down. So in this situation, you're not getting the opportunity to make penetrating passes and get close to goal. So you have to kind of build the pressure by taking shots from distance or getting crosses into the box, set pieces. When a team has such a low block in those instances, this is the way where, unfortunately, you have to try and break them down with different methods. It's not always going to be intricate one-touch, fluid tiki-taka. There's going to have to be times when you put the pressure on by taking long shots and various ways of getting to goal.
A stumble here in the midfield. Zandy takes over. McFadden steps back. Will finish his loan this season, announced a week ago, on loan from Atlanta United.
It was Serrano there who tripped over the ball in the middle of the park, and McFadden came to bail him out and win back possession for his team.
Davila switches fields. Excellent maneuver, time and space. Morris tosses it in. It's intercepted away from Winder.
Beautiful driven pass out wide there from Davila.
McFadden carries. Chops it through the middle.
Not a bad idea there. He was just looking for Serrano, making the run in between the two defenders.
Last touch by Wes Sharpie.
Received his 100 jersey before kickoff today. 100th appearance for Louisville City.
4th team of his career that started back in 2015. And his 100th appearance for Lou City here tonight. Thomas is the target, and the flag up for offside. Thomas 8 goals in his last 14 matches, 2 braces in that stretch.
And it could be 9. The number 9 for Colorado Springs had a great opportunity there in the opening 60 seconds to give them the lead, but lasted extremely well to come out and close down the space.
Dia continues his run after the ricochet. Plenty of choices. He had McFadden wide open on the opposite side of the field. Just cannot get the touch all the way over in that direction.
And you can see how open Louisville City are in there in transition. When Dia goes up like that, Morris is the player to the left-hand side who would probably need to sit in to the back 3, and that's not his natural instinct, and it didn't happen just then. So in transition moments, that's where Colorado Springs can take advantage of this Louisville City defense, is when Dia does go on those wandering runs and finds himself higher up. The defense is very much exposed, and it's just Sharpie and Tosh back there alone.
Sean Tosh weaves this through. Excellent passing. Does it lead to anything? McFadden. His cross gets knocked away. Zandy punches at it. Switchbacks do well to hold on to it, but don't have anybody forward other than Damas. And it's promptly given away. Each side with just 1 shot so far, lost the lone save.
Yeah, exactly that. Once they win possession of the ball in that situation, there's no one forward for them to connect passes to. So they're trying to play long, hopeful balls under pressure, and Louisville City are just doing a good job of cleaning up and getting back the ball.
Zandy on the turn after the giveaway. Spikes it forward. It's a good run here. Lost cannot get there in time, and it is an opener for Switchbacks. Malik Foster's 3rd of the season puts Colorado Springs in front, 1-0.
I think the airy silence and the way the ball bounced out and net had us questioning whether it went in or went wide, but we were just speaking about Colorado Springs having options forward, and a great pickup of the ball here in the center apart from Zandy, and Foster just takes off and makes the run in behind. The ball's laid directly into his path, and he did exactly what Damas couldn't do in the opening 60 seconds. First touch into space, composes himself, and buries it into the back of the net, giving Lass no chance. And despite not having much of the possession of the ball in the opening 20 minutes of this game, Colorado Springs find themselves in the lead.
James Chambers called the 27-year-old Jamaican electric and showcases that skill right at the outset. The last home match for Lou City, they gave up their fastest goal at home this season, a 30th minute goal from Clay Holstad. That led to a 5-2 Rhode Island win. It's now the fastest goal that they've conceded at home for the year, and a 1-goal deficit to deal with.
Yeah, and now it requires a big reaction now from Louisville City. You can kind of feel the atmosphere in the stadium has just gone a little bit deflated, almost like everybody's in a little bit of shock. It's very quiet, very, very airy, very unexpected. But great opportunity there from Colorado Springs that they took advantage of. It was just the transition. Louisville had good possession of the ball. They were building. They turned it over. And once Andy got that ball and Foster took off at pace, there was no turning back. And he just needed to have the quality and the composure in the final third to finish. And Foster had it exactly that. Gave Colorado Springs the 1-0 lead.
Fans, when Lou City wins, you win. This season, Lou City has partnered with Wendy's to give you a free small Frosty if the boys in purple win. No purchase necessary. The offer is valid the following day after a win. Head to any participating Louisville area Wendy's location to redeem. Well, how does Lou City respond now in this match as we get a booking off of the foul?
I think the referee's right there. One more touch, and Zandy was on the left-hand side alone, all again in space. I think it was Williams who got taken down in the center of the park, but you're now seeing some cracks start to appear in this Louisville City defense. For all the good build-up play they've had on the transition, when they lose it and they're transitioning to defense, they're not as compact and organized as they need to be.
Elijah Wander picks up the yellow card for his troubles there. And the overlap again. Another dangerous run on that right side. Thomas and Zandy lurking. Second go at it. All the way over to this left-hand side. The shot takes a ricochet. Matt Real hit it well.
Sean Tosh, one of the highest scoring defenders in the USL Championship. He wouldn't want to get himself on the score sheet in this instance, though. It would have been an own goal. Wicked ricochet off his kneecap. Luckily for him, sees it out for a corner.
This corner kick rifles to the near post. It doesn't hit the head all that well. Speedy Williams shoots, and that rises over the top of the bar.
Not bad effort there from Williams, but rolling on 20 minutes now. Louisville City have had the majority of the ball, but it's been Colorado Springs who have had the better chances right now. If we roll back to Damas's chance in the opening 60 seconds, it should probably be 2-0 Colorado Springs right now, and that's not being generous. That's being pretty truthful about what the scoreline should be.
Well, the only time that Lou City has overcome a deficit when when the opponent scores the opening goal, May 29th against Detroit City at home. Gave up the opener, scored the next 5 in a 5-1 win.
Yeah, I think Colorado Springs recognize that when they get possession of the ball in transition moments, if they're able to get runners in behind, that's where you can get behind this Louisville City defense. Sometimes teams get caught up too much in playing a possession game, and they lose the opportunity or the moment to take advantage in the transition.
Duke Lacroix steps over and ensures that that ball heads out. We're more than 20 minutes into this match. Malik Foster's third goal of the season has Colorado Springs out in front 1-0 against Lou City here in a really good East-West matchup. Colorado Springs just 2 road wins this year in their 9 tries. Damas is around Sharpie. Flag is up for offside. Otherwise, another dangerous transition moment.
Yeah, and it is a free kick, of course, but if Damas is a little bit smaller, he uses his body and nudges Sharpie and turns and runs. He's 1v1 through on goal. So you can see even when they're matched up and Sharpie's up against Damas, because Colorado only have 1 up top in the attack, there's no coverage. He's left to 1v1 defend, which is very brave. It's not necessarily a bad thing, but your defender has to be up to that task, and they have to be very strong in 1v1 defensive battles.
McFadden working against Real. Bangs it off the foot. It's another corner kick coming up. Sponsored by Wi-Fi for Lou City.
And we know this is a game where Real and Mahoney have to be on top of their game. They're coming up against one of the USL Championship's leading scorers with Harris. McFadden here putting himself to work, and Real was up to the challenge.
Taylor Davila heads over, the 23-year-old. Whips this ball across the pitch. Wilson Harris was attacking it. It's over his head and out for a goal kick. The competition is heating up this summer on CBS. Sacramento Republic look for revenge against the red-hot Oakland Roots side on Sunday. That's this Sunday, July 21st at 4 p.m. Eastern. And on August 3rd at 4 p.m., surging Detroit City hosts newcomer Rhode Island for the first time as the USL Summer of Soccer continues on the CBS Sports Network. Why is Colorado Springs making Lou City so uncomfortable?
I think they're doing a good job of exploiting the space when they win possession of the ball with the likes of Foster and Damas and the pace that they both possess. When they're able to win the ball and slide it down the sides of the Louisville City defense, it's very difficult for them to defend.
Harris was offside. Now the flag comes up as he makes a motion at the ball. In the last game, that was 13 days ago for Lou City, a season-low 9 shots. They have just 2 so far in this one. They were supposed to have a friendly last weekend against Cancun. That had to be postponed to September. So they haven't played in 13 days. Danny Cruz said that they played a little bit more intense 11v11 on Friday and Saturday. but you can never mimic a full game, even when you're playing against your side.
It does give the players a little bit of a chance to recharge their battery, especially the hard work they've done. It's a lot of hard work to be #1 in the regular season. It's a lot of pressure that you put on yourselves, but also takes a lot of hard work, a lot of intensity, a lot of mental strain and focus. So whilst it did give the players a little break to recharge and get ready for the second half of the season, obviously they lost a little bit of momentum that they would have had. But given they've lost 3 of their past 5 games, it was also an opportunity to address some of the defensive woes. And I've not necessarily seen that they're defensively solid in these opening 25 minutes. I think, as we spoke about, it's 1-0, but it should easily be 2-0, and there's been a couple of moments where it could easily have been another couple of chances on top of that. So I don't think they've come out after this 13-day break stronger defensively so far in these opening 25 minutes, but there's still a lot of the game left to play.
Speedy Williams called for the foul, and Lou City gets a free kick. And it's a 3rd free kick as well.
I think it's always going to be a trade-off when you're competing against the likes of Damas and Foster and the pace that they possess. If you choose to send your defenders higher up the field and leave that space exploited behind, then obviously that's where they're going to be most threatening. Obviously, you don't want to drop off when you're at home and defend on your goal line. So it's a trade-off between Louisville City trying to play their own way and play to their own strengths, but also recognizing the strengths of Colorado Springs and the pace that they possess and the danger that they'll cause you if you leave that space open behind.
McFadden has that bounce off of a defender, out again, and it's another Wi-Fi corner, the 3rd already of this match for Louisville City.
I think ideally what Louisville City need to do is to get more pressure on the ball in the midfield and stop those balls being able to be played forward into space and kind of cut off the source rather than having to deal with the symptoms.
So let's see how the home side handles this chance. Low liner in, takes a couple bounces. And it looked like McFadden just couldn't quite tame it as it hits off of his chest.
Great opportunity there for the equalizer. Woeful defending from that corner from Colorado Springs. The ball bounces and just goes straight across the face of goal, just screaming for somebody to smash it into the back of the net. Unfortunately, nobody was there, and Colorado Springs still maintain their 1-0 lead.
Davila has to retreat. Now Tosh. Evan Davila. Aiden McFadden pivots. Looking back post. Jake Morris was the target.
And if you just look now in this build-up play, look how high Tosh is as one of the defending 3. It's very expansive from Louisville City. It's very, it's good to watch. It's great attacking soccer. Positionally also, but defensively, it's always going to leave them exposed. And Danny Cruz is happy with that. You know, they score as many goals as they concede, and they're #1 in the league for, not by accident, for good reason. But
second ball in, this ball ping-pongs around. Elijah Winder scores the equalizer. Lou City ties it up at 1 apiece.
Colorado Springs will be so frustrated at giving up this goal from a set piece. They just don't do a great job of clearing the ball away. It ping-pongs around, ends up finding Winder in time and space to pick his corner, and he bends it into the far post. Not sure that he was in front of the goalkeeper. It might be, finds himself deeper than everybody else. It's an easy finish for Winder in the end.
Elijah Winder with his 4th goal of the season. The 21-year-old who Danny Cruz said was a critical piece.
Yeah, when you asked him this week who could have kind of stood out for him or most impressed him so far this season, Winder was the name that he mentioned, the first that rolled off his tongue without even thinking too much about him. And he's lived up to his expectations again tonight.
Goal presented by Kentucky Lottery, fueling imagination, funding education. Kentucky Lottery. Right back on the front foot yet again is Colorado Springs. Loss straddles the line, keeps it in play. Well, Lou City had only been shut out twice this season, so you knew that they would certainly take their chances
Yeah, and goals change games. You can already feel the energy and the momentum and the focus, and everybody in the stadium's kind of come back to life a little bit from the goal that they conceded against Colorado Springs. So you'd only expect Louisville City to go on and get stronger from here. They had a slow start to the game, and now they picked up a little bit. Now it'll be interesting to see if they can actually take control and dictate the tempo game, create goal scoring opportunities, and become a little bit more defensively solid as the game goes on.
Lou City, 7 wins, 1 loss at home this year. They've now scored 16 first-half goals. That's the 3rd most of any team in the league. It felt like this might be a track meet here tonight.
And we spoke with Danny Cruz and we said, you know, what are some of the things that you think your team needs to improve on or work on? And he said when teams play direct, it gives them more of a problem when teams build up against them. And you can completely see why. With the defensive shape, as they're so expansive and they throw bodies forward, those direct balls into space are always going to be threatening for them. If Colorado Springs are able to recognize what was bringing them success early in the game and stick to the game plan, I think they have a chance to get themselves back ahead in this game. I think if they start changing things up.
Harris chases. Christian Herrera takes no chances.
They'll play right into the hands of Louisville City, because even if you watch on this counter-attack, all 3 forwards, Harris, Davia, and Serrano, all occupied in the spaces in between the defenders. All it takes is for the right 3 balls to be played to them, and it's going to be big problems. They do a great job of picking up the right spaces when they transition into attack.
Just past the 30-minute mark here. Good to have you on board with us. 1-1. Foster, the opener for Switchbacks in the 16th minute. Winder, the equalizer in the 28th. Michael Watring, Chris Nurse, and our team enjoying this match with you. This portion of tonight's match presented by Toyota and the Kentuckiana Toyota dealers.
Just a little bit rushed there, that pass from Harris. Just probably needed to be a little bit more patient. Davila was making the run, but defenders were just well positioned to intercept that pass. But you can see when McFadden and Morris are able to join the front 3, Louisville City sometimes attack with 5. Then you have Winder and Davia holding just in front of the back 3, and Tosh sometimes join the attack. Dia sometimes joins in the attack. They throw a lot of bodies forward, which gives them the opportunities they have to score the amount of goals that they have. But it does leave them wide open on transition moments. And I think what you're seeing is a trade-off. Now Colorado Springs are having a little bit more of the ball. They're making a few more passes, but they're having less chances on goal. When they were probably being a little bit more passive earlier in the game, allowing Louisville City to have the ball, and when they won it back, being transitional and playing in behind, they were getting more goal-scoring chances. Now when they're winning possession of the ball, they're being a little bit more patient in their build-up, and they're not creating anything from it. The possession doesn't have any purpose, and it's actually allowing Louisville to get a better grip on the game.
Look at our West Banco replay. Real and Evan Davila get tied up there. It looked like the follow-through of Real catches Davila.
Would you say half of one, 6 a dozen of the other?
Yeah. Half a dozen of one.
Wait, 6 of one. 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. There we go. Players getting themselves a little water break in these hot conditions. What we love about Danny Cruz is his relentless pursuit to be #1. You know, we talk to a lot of head coaches, and some coaches are content getting into the playoffs, only focus on getting into the playoffs and then seeing what happens in the postseason. His focus, his determination, his drive is to be #1, to win everything. Win the regular season, and then they focus on the playoffs after that. And that's why I love year to year after that about Danny Cruz, is that he has no other aspiration for the organization. And given even James Chambers said that Louisville City is the gold standard of the USL Championship in terms of their stadium, their organization, the way their teams play, the preparation, the investment that they put. Danny Cruz has no other aspiration, no other goal but to win every game and be #1. And then when they get to the postseason, that's when he'll be concerned with that. I love that mentality that he brings to the league, to his team, more importantly to the game. I think it's good to put that consistent mentality into the players where they know that there's no easing up. Every day you have to perform to your best. Every week you need to perform to your best. Every game, every month, you always have to be performing to the maximum of your capabilities. You can't afford to just coast your way into the playoffs and then feel like that's going to be enough to be a champion.
With their sights set on a shield, a team that entered with the most points in the league. Tied at 1 here, and what's been an entertaining start to this matchup. A third of the way through. Crossed into the 18, knocked away. Zandy looking to pounce. And it's Zandy that commits the foul. Select the official match ball supplier of the USL Championship and many elite leagues throughout Europe. Visit us.select-sport.com for the latest Select products, specials, and more. Select, the player's choice.
Even if you just look at Colorado Springs team and you look at where they're going to be most effective, with Damas and Foster, if you win possession of the ball and you have players with this speed, they're always going to be effective if you can get the ball in behind the defenders and they can be facing forward. They don't want to receive the ball with their back to goal. You need to get them facing forward. You need Zandy driving forward with the ball. You need Williams or Rocha picking up the ball in the middle of the park and driving forward.
Speaking of which, here's Ronaldo Damas. In on his own. Damas's shot attempt gets blocked, but it's a penalty given. Amadou Diaz steps in and commits the penalty against Damas.
I'm not convinced this is a penalty. I'm not convinced. I think Damas does ever so well to win the ball here, and then it just takes him a little time to settle the ball down. I think Diaz makes an absolutely fantastic tackle there and saves his team from going a goal down. Just look here. I think that's a great tackle if you ask me. I think his willingness, the timing of the tackle, the determination to get to the ball. I think Damas's touch let him down where he wasn't able to set the ball quick enough to get his strike off.
Come say something.
As there always is after a penalty's been given. Chats with anybody that'll listen. Of course, no VAR to be able to overturn this. And Ronaldo Damas will stride to the spot 12 yards away with a chance.
I think Damas is getting a big get out of jail free card here because this could have been his second goal of the game. And he took a little too long on it and allowed Dia the opportunity to get back and make that tackle. I think it's such a harsh decision here to give a penalty. But let's see if Las can serve justice in this instance.
Damas has made all 4 chances so far this season. Ronaldo Damas hits the post! He missed it!
And let's be honest, I don't like to give referees a hard time of questioning their decisions, but justice is served. As I said, Diaz's effort to get back and make that tackle was phenomenal. I think he got the ball, and I think Damas, justice is served.
Damas misses a penalty for the first time in his career.
Look, and put it like this.
6 for 6.
When you're playing against this Louisville City team, the chances that you get and the chances that Damas has had, you have to convert. This is how you're going to beat them. The few chances that you get, the few quality chances that you have to convert. He should have converted it before Dia had the opportunity to even make the tackle. You then get a second bite of the apple from the penalty spot and you don't put it in. If you don't win at the end of 90 minutes, Colorado Springs, you only have yourselves to blame because you've had a number of chances to be clinical in this game. You could already be 3-1 in the lead. Unfortunately, it's 1-1, and you know that Louisville City are probably likely to get stronger as the game continues. Danny Cruz won't be happy with his first half performance. They've given up far too many goal scoring opportunities. Yes, Dia did make the tackle, but the opportunity being created in the first stand was completely unnecessary.
So after everything that has happened, 1 apiece. Damas has had 2 terrific chances, really 3. If you include the penalty, has not converted on any. Foster's goal in the 16th, Winders in the 28th. Has us tied at 1 apiece here in Louisville. Michael Watring and Chris Nurse watching this match as Sean Tosh will go in the books.
And now that makes Tosh very tricky now. If you're James Chambers, you know Tosh is on the yellow, you're putting the ball into the channels either side of him every single time for the remainder of the game. Because you know, number one, your players have the beating him for pace, and he can't afford to time one tackle wrong. It's for the players on the field to recognize that now for Colorado Springs and start to exploit those spaces. The backwards and sideways passing has not been effective for them. When they played forward with purpose, quickly, direct, so to speak, I wouldn't say long ball, I say maybe the right ball. If they recognize that the pressure's high and the space is behind, then it's not long ball, it's the right ball at that moment.
Here's Wilson Harris. Eyes up with options in the box. Wilson Harris glides it across. It bounces, ricochets off of Serrano. And the choice is made for another corner kick here for the boys in purple.
Bit of confusion there. Is it out? Is it in? Is it a corner? Is it a goal kick?
So Ray Serrano will step over to it. Our Wi-Fi corner. Serrano boomerangs this ball in. It ricochets off of Winder and out, and it's a goal kick. Well, Lou City just conceded its 5th penalty kick this year. Only Miami has given up more, and it's the 2nd time that the opponent has failed to score on a penalty.
And if you're Colorado Springs, you know you have the pace of Foster. We haven't really mentioned Hanya's name too much in this first half. Foster, if I was Foster, I'm switching wings and I'm going up against Tosh. I'm saying, give me the ball in the space either side of him.
Here's a giveaway. Winder, Harris pokes it forward. It's tapped wide. Serrano salivating, just couldn't quite put it on target.
I think Serrano, if he doesn't cut his toenails before the game, this is a goal. Just a little bit too far ahead of him and ends up poking it wide rather than into the back of the net.
It does take a ricochet in the end, so it's another Wi-Fi corner for Lou City as they start to knock on the door here at the end of the first half. Serrano frisbees this ball around. Dia winds it up and the foul is whistled, and that will take away a goal of the week candidate.
Yeah, he'll be having words with whoever got this goal to Salida. He's going to be fuming with them. Left foot on the edge of the box. I think he closed his eyes when he hits this. Goal of the season, let alone goal of the week. Keeper Herrera had no chance with this. You can see he just watches this going to the back of his net. He was getting nowhere near it. He'll be devastated. He won't be able to put that on his highlight reel.
He hasn't scored in 5 years. June of 2019.
It would have been a hell of a golazo had it stood.
Perfect for it to have been a golazo here on CBS Sports Golazo Network. But one apiece nevertheless. Boy, this game has been fruitful in storylines. And if this is what the first half has presented to us, you wonder what the second half might look like here tonight. Fans have not been very happy with Mohamed Hassan, and they have certainly let their voices heard. Serrano back on it. It's a good recovery run from Speedy Williams.
And he turns over possession again. Colorado Springs had good possession of the ball. They just need to be a little bit more patient and use their centre-backs to become an extra midfielder. The centre-backs have time and space in front of them, and instead of driving forward into midfield.
Here's this cross into the 18.
Instead of driving forward with the ball with the time and space that they have, they're just passing the ball sideways. It's very easy for Louisville City to defend, and then they're just waiting for the misplaced pass or the mistake to pick it off. The centre-backs have the ability, both Rua and Mahoney, to drive forward when they have time and space and become that extra player in the middle of the park.
So 2 minutes to go, plus stoppage time, in an entertaining first half in an East-West matchup in the USL. Serrano works around Hanya. Elijah Wander, who has the goal tonight for Lou City. Leaves it for Tosh. Pokes it along, it's McFadden. Right back, Sean Tosh.
We spoke about how high Tosh is, being one of those back three. You can see how high his position is. Even the whole defensive line is way in the in the offensive half.
Tosh researches, wants to switch it all the way across the pitch. Jake Morris knocks it down. Stopping and starting, weaving it to the top. Winder lays it back. This shot just wide. Christian Herrera was searching as Taylor Davila had his sights set on a golazo.
Wasn't bad here from Davila. I think his weaker right foot, if he does have a weak foot, we've seen him spraying the ball with his left foot. Just composure, just tries to guide this in the corner with his right foot. But great build-up play from Louisville City there, rotating the ball, keeping possession. Very difficult for Colorado Springs to mark here because you have Tosh giving them width on the right-hand side. You have McFadden then coming inside. It's very fluid and it's very difficult for Colorado Springs to be rigid and being able to mark the players when Louisville City are attacking with so much fluidity. That's what they need to do a little bit more consistently throughout the course of the game.
Foul whistled, and much to the disdain of Jake Morris. Was with Loudon at the end of last season after a couple of years with Columbus Crew too. His brother plays for Columbus. Tied at 1 apiece here. Lou City responding after giving up the opener. And 3 minutes of stoppage time presented by Louisville Airport. Will either of these two sides capture a lead before halftime?
Williams does well there to keep possession of the ball under pressure. But if they're going to build out like this, they need their defenders to join the midfield to be more engaged after they just pass it forward. Instead of stepping off, they need them to continue to join the attack.
Wilson Harris commits the foul. Well, in other matches currently going on, and certainly one that impacts Lou City, Charleston has a 2-0 lead on Miami. Nick Marcanic, who seems to score in his sleep at this point, has a brace. That means as it sits right now, the Eastern Conference has a new leader. Charleston would leapfrog Lou City.
And that's why I'm expecting Lou City to come out strong in the second half. They'll know all about that when they go in at halftime. They'll know they're no longer number one. They'll know there's still 45 minutes to play, them to take the control into their own hands. But they know they're going to have to come out a little bit stronger in the second half. For Colorado Springs, I expect them to get back to doing what was bringing them success earlier in the game. Being patient, winning possession of the ball, and exploiting spaces in behind quickly.
Colorado Springs had an early advantage in shots. Right now, it's nearly level, 6-5. Lou City has found that level of confidence that has them as the league's leading goal-scoring team, 2.5 goals per match, just shy of the all-time single-season record.
And we've not seen Colorado Springs intentionally try to target Tosh. McFadden joins the attack high up. If they play the ball into these wide channels and get Foster or Hanya or Damas to operate on this side of the field, Tosh has to be extremely careful in how he times his tackles. He can't afford any late ones. He can't afford any petulant ones. He can't afford any professional foul, so to speak, should the ball go in behind him. And he just tried to slow down the momentum of Damas or Foster because that will be his second yellow card. So it's interesting to see they haven't intentionally tried to exploit any of those spaces as yet.
Hanya slices the middle of the field. Maybe the last chance of this first half belongs to Colorado Springs. So Lou City will settle back a little bit deeper now. Playing against the clock. Real stabs this along. Zandy circles. Doesn't get enough on that to make Damas dangerous. McFadden nutmegs one. No foul is whistled. Hanya comes on to possession. Looked like could have been a foul maybe there. No whistle. Wilson Harris. And there is your first half whistle. Chris, quite the entertaining opening 45, and I think both sides at this point think maybe they could have the lead.
Yeah, just a little bit scrappy towards the end. Coming into the last minutes towards halftime, both teams needed to just be a little bit responsible towards halftime. We saw passes, turnover possessions, nutmegs, turnover possession, and now we see a little bit of discrepancy with the referee. I think both teams need to get themselves into the locker room, get refocused on what's been bringing them success in this game, and look forward to an exciting second half.
A matchup ripe with chances for both sides. See the tally sit at 1 apiece in the first meeting in Louisville between Switchbacks and the boys in purple. It's 1 apiece here. Foster open it in the 16th. Winder in the 28th. Equalize for Lou City. We're at halftime. Stick with us as we bring you more.
Summer is heating up with beach vacations, road trips, backyard barbecues, and fireworks. So fuel your summer with MyCard, only from Commonwealth Credit Union. MyCard gives you 3 points for every dollar you spend on transportation and travel, and 1.5 points for everything else, all with no annual fee, no foreign transaction fees. Don't have MyCard? Don't flip out. Flip the balance with a balance transfer and fuel your summer with MyCard, only from Commonwealth Credit Union. Here, we see you differently.
We're talking about this year's St. Jude Dream Home giveaway, where if you spend $100 on a raffle ticket, you're entered to win this beautiful home, and you're definitely helping save kids. Tim, as a Domino's franchise owner, can you tell us about the Domino's Village at St. Jude?
Yes, ma'am. It houses 140 families. It gives them comfort and support when they need it the most.
Now, I know you're excited about this year's location, right?
I am. It's about 3 miles from our Domino's store in LaGrange. It's valued at $500,000. It's 2,986 square feet. 4 bedrooms and 2.5 baths.
You are the sponsor of our early bird prize this year. Tell us about it.
Yes, ma'am. We're giving away a 70-inch big screen TV with surround sound and a year of free pizza from Domino's.
Now, if you get your ticket by August 9th, you're automatically also entered to win this early bird prize sponsored by Domino's. Go to WDRB.com, click on the St. Jude Dream Home tab to learn more and get your ticket. I'm Lindsay Cox, and that's Talk of the Town.
All-wheel drive doesn't just mean off-roading. It means everyday living. That's why Toyota gives you the power of choice, with a choice of powertrains on the best-in-class Tundra, including the 437 horsepower iForce Max, which delivers the kind of summer fun Tundra is known for. Now get up to $2,000 customer cash on Tundra, or choose 1.99 APR financing, or a great low lease on Tundra. The choice is yours. Toyota, let's go places.
We've reached halftime in Louisville, and a seesaw affair between East versus West sees a 1-1 margin. Where do these two teams sit on the table? Well, let's look first at the Eastern Conference. Charleston has overtaken Lou City based off of the live results. Charleston 2-0 leaders against Miami, who sit at the bottom of the table with just 8 points. Tampa and Indy 11 trying to stay relevant with those top 2 teams, but Lou City and Charleston do not appear like they're taking their foot off the gas anytime soon. On the other side, in the Western Conference, it is a tight battle across the board. Everybody seemingly still in play, with the exception of maybe El Paso at this point. You look at Switchbacks, a good result tonight could rise them all the way up to the number 2 spot. New Mexico continues to hold the strangle of the top slot in the Western Conference. At halftime, it's 1 apiece between these two clubs. What's happening around the rest of the USL and the USL Championship? We'll answer that question when we come back.
Is it somebody's birthday? Dad, come watch us hit this ugly piñata. Dad!
When Hornets show up, so do we. Terminix it.
They're hungry for the women's game. They want to see women's soccer. They want to play women's soccer, and that's what we're building at the USL. You can see it in my eyes. We want the best. We got it every night. Won't settle for less. Got me looking to the sky. Got me feeling blessed. Got this fire burning up inside of my chest. Burning up inside of my chest. Got this fire burning up inside of my chest.
The best nights start with Jägermeister, made with 56 botanicals, always served ice cold.
Take a miracle to come back from this. Heartbreaking end to the season. But what's this?
or the moments when anticipation
Counting down. 5 seconds. 3, 2.
becomes celebration? Jägermeister. Meister the moment.
Shaw's in front of him, takes a deflection. Here comes Sacramento right back at Trevor Abbott.
When mosquitoes show up, so do we. Terminix it.
All-wheel drive doesn't just mean off-roading. It means everyday living. That's why Toyota gives you the power of choice, with a choice of powertrains on the best-in-class Tundra, including the 437 horsepower iForce Max, which delivers the kind of summer fun Tundra is known for. Now get up to $2,000 customer cash on Tundra, or choose 1.99 APR financing, or a great low lease on Tundra. The choice is yours. Toyota, let's go places.
One apiece here in Louisville. Colorado Springs striking first. Lou City responding 12 minutes later. It's the USL Summer of Soccer, and it continues tomorrow night. Pittsburgh and Hartford, two teams eyeing a postseason spot, pushing to try to get back on top. That'll be an 8 p.m. kick on ESPN2. And then Sunday on CBS, it's Oakland and Sacramento. That'll be a dandy of a matchup in the Western Conference. And plenty more to go. It all wraps up in mid-August. CBS Sports Network, Sacramento and El Paso will take flight in that matchup, as every team getting a chance to be on the national networks. Should be fun tomorrow night as Pittsburgh and Hartford clash, and then Oakland and Sacramento as well. In the USL, all can be seen on CBS Sports Network, and ESPN2. Last week's goal of the week preserved a draw for Indy 11 against Loudoun. Hunter Sulte was able to come up with quite the effort here. Kick save and a beauty to get that ball away and prevent Loudoun from perhaps taking the full complement of points in that matchup. The goal of the week belonged to Memphis's Bruno Lapa, a game winner in the 86th minute at Detroit. It took a long time, but his volley was able to provide the backdrop for a full complement of points for Memphis, as he was able to bang this one off the top, and Memphis continues to try to make its push in the West. Team of the week looks like this. Speaking of the summer of soccer, Bob Lilly coming off of their team's best performance in 3 years. 5 goals in a 5-0 win over Oakland. Junior Etu had a brace. He was the player of the week in the USL last week. The aforementioned Bruno Lapa also making a spot on the team of the week. Here we sit at 1 apiece between Lou City and Colorado Springs. When we come back, we'll take a look at the first half highlights, stats, and have second half kickoff between Lou City and Colorado Springs.
All-wheel drive doesn't just mean off-roading. It means everyday living. That's why Toyota gives you the power of choice, with a choice of powertrains on the best-in-class Tundra, including the 437 horsepower iForce Max, which delivers the kind of summer fun Tundra is known for. Now get up to $2,000 customer cash on Tundra, or choose 1.99 APR financing, or a great low lease on Tundra. The choice is yours. Toyota, let's go places.
At Typical Insurance, you're just another senior.
That is the 3rd health insurance commercial with seniors at a farmer's market.
Right? Don't get me wrong, I love a fresh heirloom, but it's like those companies think we're all the same.
That's why I chose Humana. Before I signed up, I spoke to someone who actually listened to what I needed. She told me about benefits that were right for me, like vision and dental, all in my budget. I'm finally feeling control. What are you doing? Taking control.
Humana, a more human way to healthcare.
When you need inspiration, it's worth shopping Kroger, where you'll find over 30,000 mouth-watering choices, with savings beyond low prices. Savings like digital coupons worth over $600 each week, and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump. More savings and more inspiring flavors make Kroger worth it every time.
It's your thing. Do what you want to do.
Kroger, fresh for everyone.
It's been said you shouldn't mess with a good thing. But when you get behind the wheel of the 2024 Toyota Tacoma, you'll know why we did. We took the best-selling truck in its class the past 19 years and made it better with trail-dominating power, legendary capability, and high-end performance. This Tacoma is built for fun, inside and out. Now it's your turn to go messing with a good thing. Lease a new 24 Tacoma now for $349 a month. Toyota, let's go places.
Getting ready to kick off the second half is Lou City and Switchbacks level at 1 apiece here. Michael and Chris back here in Lynn Family Stadium watching this one with you here tonight as we take a look at the first half highlights between these two clubs. There was an early chance right out of the gates for Colorado Springs. They didn't finish. Malik Foster would make sure that that wouldn't happen this time.
Yeah, great pass from Zandy here. Finds Foster making the run in behind, composure in his first touch, and into the side net with his second touch. Gives his team the 1-0 lead.
Zandy sets up Foster's third goal of the season. But no more than 11 minutes later, after a couple touches here, Elijah Wander picked up a free spot and a free goal to tie it.
Yeah, very lucky goal. If you see the deflection, it comes off Colorado Springs player just before Winder bends it into the back of the net. But defending 101, when it's set pieces, you have to stay with your marker until the ball goes to safety. And as you can see, Winder's here, and there's nobody close to him when he puts that ball into the back of the net.
Winder scores his 4th of the year. And then, 36th minute, this was ruled a penalty against Dia. Ronaldo Damas couldn't finish, though.
Yeah, we don't like to be too harsh on referees, but thought that was a good tackle from Dia, and then justice was served when Damas was unable to convert this penalty kick. He had a great chance early in the game that could have been his second of the night.
His first missed penalty of his career. And here, this would be wiped away after Dia's volley. A foul inside of the 18 on Evan Davila erases that chance. We look at the stats in this one. Overall, fairly similar in terms of shot attempts. Colorado Springs have had more possession. Lou City's had the multitude of corners. What do you expect out of half number 2?
Yeah, I think when we look at shots on target, that probably is a fair reflection of what the scoreline should be. Damas has 2 chances. Foster obviously converted his chance. And then Louisville City have only had 1 shot on target, being the one they converted into the back of the net. Obviously, Dia's chance that we saw there was disallowed for an infringement in the box. So I expect to see Colorado Springs come out in the second half and start to keep doing more of what they did in the first half. For Louisville City, knowing that Charleston are winning and they're knocked off the top of the table right now, I expect to see them come out in the second half with a vengeance in their eyes, a purpose, an intensity. I expect to see a big reaction from Louisville City in the second half in front of their home fans.
Well, we'll see if that happens here this evening. Lou City took points away from 12 of their first 13 matches of the year. 32 of 39 possible points. But they've lost 3 of their last 5 and have been outscored 10-9 in that stretch. How does half number 2 shake out here tonight between Lou City and Colorado Springs? It's been a dandy of a matchup to watch. Now will half number 2 provide a similar tale here tonight? Will one of these two teams be able to get the full complement of points here this evening? Scores from around the league. It's still Charleston 2-0 against Miami, and Evan Conway has scored for North Carolina to put NC ahead of Detroit City. That match about a quarter hour to go in that one.
Some interesting stats with Colorado actually leading the possession battle, 56% in favor of Colorado, 43% to Louisville. Switchbacks have also had more total passes, 239 passes in comparison to Louisville's 172. But where Louisville have been stronger is on successful dribbles. Colorado just 33% of their dribbles being successful in comparison to Louisville, 66% successful.
Well, a couple changes for Lou City. Sam Gleedle and Arturo Ordonez come into the match as we start off half number 2 here. What a piece between Louisville City and Colorado Springs. Michael Watrain, Chris Nurse, and our team here watching this match with you. Good to have you on board here tonight. Amadou Dia came out. He's one of the men that get changed out. Substitutions brought to you by Fortna. Here's Elijah Winder. Bounces that ball off of a defender, and more corner kick chances here for Lou City. Davila heads over. Spent a couple seasons with LA Galaxy too. A year with RGV last year where he scored 6 times. Lines this ball up. Winder was the target. Davila gets to the second one. And it's well handled defensively. And now the race can be on for this transitional side, but it's given away. Serrano takes over. McFadden wants it. Cannot latch on to it. It's Lacroix that sends it to midfield. Colorado Springs had been unbeaten in 16 straight when scoring first. Hadn't lost since August of 2023. Were 7-0-3 prior to last week when they fell to Birmingham. Trying to avoid the same fate here tonight after scoring the opener.
Interesting that change with Dia. Obviously Dia scored the goal that was disallowed to Galazzo. He made the challenge on Damas that was given for a penalty, but actually it was a really good tackle. He was definitely influential and involved a lot in the first half. I imagine there had to be some sort of injury why he was taken out at half time, but Ordonez does provide that little bit more stability at the back there. He won't bomb forward as much as Dia does. He'll keep his shape and position a little bit more consistently, which may give them a little bit more stability at the back.
Evan Davila, who made his first professional start tonight, was the man that was taken off for Gleedle. So 2 changes for Lou City, none for Colorado Springs. Lou City has been balanced all year long. 14 different goal scorers, a dozen with at least 2 for the year. Anchored by Wilson Harris's 11, and a team that has flourished in the attack, having scored 13 or multiple goals in 13 of 18 matches entering the night. Looking for another one here tonight against a Colorado Springs team that has certainly found their groove here in the middle of the campaign.
Yeah, and Harris has been very quiet in that first half, whether it's been great defending from Rio and Mahoney to mark him, and Roshan Williams have done a good job of shutting the service on into his feet, or Louisville City just haven't done a great job of finding him with purposeful possession. It's been a very quiet first half for Harris so far in today's game, but we know that's when strikers can be their most lethal. They can be quiet, get one chance, and then they do their job, put the ball in the back of the net. So it's going to be interesting to see if he comes to life in this second half. Of course, he's not leading the league with 11 goals for no reason, so if he's provided with good service, it's only a matter of time before he scores.
Lou City had 5 clean sheets in the first 8 games of the year. They've now given up a goal in 9 of the last 10. Serrano stings it over. McFadden bounces this ball in. It ends up at the feet of Harris, and ultimately Herrera cradles.
I think it was Harris with that chance. I think we're now mentioning his name, but probably for the wrong reasons. Probably one of the easiest chances that he's had out of the 11 goals he scored. Colorado's swing switched off defensively there. Although it was a mishit shot that ended up being a possible assist, you still need to track your runners there, and Harris ran through completely untracked, just unable to get a strong connection on the ball and give his team the go-ahead goal.
Can't watch the match? Turn on Sirius XM FC 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access, Tuesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern. Plus, hear live matches from the USL, MLS, Premier League, and more, all on Sirius XM FC 157 in the new Sirius XM app. That ball juggles around. Foster tips it forward. Danny Cruz wanted to see a little bit more consistency from his team defensively. Been on their heels at times in this match. Jake Morris lofts. Foul is given here, and there's not much in that. Matt Mahoney cannot believe it. James Chambers not thrilled with the explanation either. Here's Elijah Winder. Brings it in, Winder through the middle. It comes out loose, spinning McFadden. Shot gets blocked away, and it's a corner kick.
McFadden did well there to work his feet to get the shot from the end. Ball bounces around, falls to him at the edge of the box. You thought he was maybe going to hit this first time, chops onto it on his left foot. Just unable to pick his corner and slot it away, but good opportunity there for Louisville City.
Mavilos corner in. And a foul whistled yet again on one of these set-piece chances. That's 8 corners now for Lou City. I feel like at some point they have to find a way to get something connected early.
Yeah, we know that Tosh is a huge threat from those offensive corners that Louisville City have. Target man consistently finds himself on the score sheet from set pieces.
Both teams have been strong in the second half. Colorado Springs has scored a dozen second half goals. Blue City on the other side, 18 goals scored in the final half hour. These two teams wear out their opponents more often than not.
It's not in his hands.
Christian Herrera sends it down the park. After 10 clean sheets last year, 6 more this season. Here's Serrano, trying to gather it around Mahoney. He does well to get a ricochet. Lacroix spins it to mid-park.
So effective when your players are facing forward and players just take off and make runs in between defenders. If the time of their pass is right, they're always going to be through, but even if the opportunity is there not to play forward, it's just a natural reaction for the defense to drop deeper. Now you've created more space in between the defense and the midfield where you can play higher up the field. You need those players who are willing to make runs in behind to stretch the game.
Jake Morris dances around. His cross knocked away. Gets back to it, and he draws the foul. And it's going to be a booking as well in this situation to set up a free kick. Koa Santos goes in the books. All of our cards tonight brought to you by Bone Dry Roofing.
Morris does a good job here of just using his body to get in front of the ball and then just feels the contact from Santos and goes down and wins his team a free kick high in the attacking third.
The USL Championship is on CBS Sports and ESPN platforms all season long. There's live matches and expert analysis every day on the CBS Sports Golazo Network and ESPN Plus. Go to USLChampionship.com for the complete USL TV listings. Mahoney's going to have to come off of the field since there was medical attention given to him. So on this free kick, Mahoney, the 29-year-old, in his 4th season with Colorado Springs, will have to stand by the 4th official up near midfield. And on the cross in, it takes a ricochet off of Winder. Tries to get to the second ball. Instead, Foster cycles to midfield. Santos back on the pitch. And it's Jake Morris accelerating. Santos again goes to ground. This time he wins it cleanly.
Good tackle there from Santos, who had to time it well, given that he's sitting on a yellow card right now.
Wilson Harris bangs it off of the defender, out for another corner.
You just feel like Louisville City are turning up the heat a little bit. They've sustained pressure in this attacking third for the past 4 or 5 minutes on this Colorado Springs defense.
Will it lead to anything here? Tied at 1 apiece in a Wi-Fi corner. Ray Serrano bends this ball in near post. Morris has his sights set on a cycle kick. Serrano to the back post. This time it's headed, but wide.
Oh,
lurking was Santos.
It was that man right on cue. Ball was just hanging at the back post, screaming for him to attack. He just needed to hit it back where it came from. Misses the target, but right on cue, Sean Tosha was there. The goal-scoring defender, centre-back. You'd expect him to bury that opportunity. He'll be disappointed with himself.
Tosh never had more than 1 goal in a match prior to 2022. He scored 9 in his 9th career season. Had 4 goals total in his first 200 career appearances. He's already got 3 this season, and he has been a man that has been hovering around those set piece chances and nearly had the go-ahead. It certainly feels like the plot has changed, and it's Louisville City now that has the upper hand here in this situation. In fact, they've taken all 3 shots of this second half so far.
Yeah, you don't see that same intent that Colorado Springs had in that first half. In the first half, in the first 60 seconds, they had a chance to take the lead, and we're 15 minutes in, and they've not really threatened goal in the same way so far in this second half. It's all been Louisville City sustaining pressure in their attacking third.
Switchbacks winless in their last 4 road matches. They haven't won on the road since May 11th. That was at Hartford. They've been outscored by 3 in their road matches this season.
And as we spoke about, both these teams have not huge ramifications, but big ramifications should they pick up 3 points tonight. For Colorado Springs, if they pick up 3 points, they'll find themselves second in Western Conference. For Louisville City, if they pick up 3 points, they'll find themselves back on top of the Eastern Conference, who is currently being occupied by Charleston Battery, currently sitting in the lead against Miami FC.
Ball cleared away. Still sits at 2-0. They're into the 90th minute now for the Battery. Another cross in, and again dealt with on that first time. Real sends it to the seats. New City turning it up just a little bit on the dial. Eyeing a go-ahead goal as we hit the 60th minute of play. Davila leaves it across. Jake Morris bounces it in. It is Wilson Harris. He was laying it back. Gleadle was starting a run.
I think if he lays it off first time, there's more momentum there from Gleadle to come onto it. The touch kind of takes the momentum out of Gleadle's movement, and everything is the timing, and everything's just off a little bit, and they lose the rhythm.
Morris unable to escape. Sharpie. Davila again.
It's a lot of work for Damas on his own there defensively, trying to occupy this back three.
Winder to the sideline and another corner. At the 1 hour mark of this match, it's tied at 1. Lou City and Colorado Springs. Third meeting between East versus West. Michael Watrang, Chris Nurse, and our team. Excited to have you on board here tonight. Final half hour of this one. And this is where both of these teams excel. A Wi-Fi corner lifted into the 18, and it is headed by Morris high over the crossbar.
And now that great opportunity here from set pieces. That might be the 9th corner. Is it the 9th or 10th corner? Might
That's
be the
10th.
9th or 10th, but again, the pressure building up. Great opportunity there from Morris. Just needed to just let it glance off his head into the back of the net. Probably gets a little bit too good of a connection on the ball. Painfully sees it go high over the crossbar.
The last 7 shots in this match have been attempted by Lou City. It's been nearly a half hour since Colorado Springs last took a shot, and that was when Damas rang the right bar on a penalty kick.
Yeah, and this is where that break that Louisville City have just had, 13-day break, comes into play. We're going into second half. You'd expect the players still to be feeling fairly fresh. For Colorado Springs, this is the point in the game where maybe it's time for them to go to the bench. Louisville City have already made 2 changes, so they've already freshened things up at halftime. You expect to see the likes of Jairo Enriquez maybe come into this game shortly. Somebody who can get possession, get their foot on the ball, and try to get them ticking.
Well, 7 of the last 10 matches for Lou City had been on the road. They start a stretch of 4 of 5 at home. It is a foul given. Didn't look like there was a ton in that. Certainly the fans disagree with the call. Switchbacks are preparing 2 changes. Jonas Fjellberg and Quincy Erman are both standing by the 4th official.
Rocha there, a player who kind of goes unspoken for in that Colorado Springs midfield, does a lot of the industrious work, the dirty work, cleaning things up for his teammates, the connector between the defense and the forward line.
Ahead of the curve, relief around the corner, serving Louisville, Central Kentucky, and Southern Indiana. That's Advanced ENT.
Ooh.
Wilson Harris nearly had a chance.
Risky play there from Herrera.
Here comes Switchbacks with their first real possession in the attacking third. Into the 18. Thomas was the target. A flying shove away by Sharpie. And now McFadden unlocks a long ball looking for Serrano. Herrera alert to it.
Herrera just needs to take a little bit more care with some of these clearances. He's got me nervous sitting here. Some of these back passes. Just needs to just relax a little bit, pick his aerial, pick his target, and try to keep his team in possession in those moments.
Instead, it's Lou City again. Serrano. Herrera bobbles, and he's very fortunate to gather that ball in the end.
Does well to distribute that quickly and kickstart attack here for Colorado Springs.
It's Hanya. Cutting back to the left, Tosh knocks down Hanya. Hanya thought it should have been a penalty. This time there is no whistle, and the youngster doesn't get the benefit against the veteran.
Yeah, that's probably a little bit of naivety there from the youngster. He gets past Tosh here, and he's past him. There's no need to go down. Stay on your feet there. You've already got past him. If he touches you after that point of getting past him, now he's going to be getting his second yellow card. But diving trying to con the referee only worked against you in that situation.
So we get a pair of Fortuna subs here. Jonas Fjeldberg replaces Hanya, and Zach Zandy gives way to Quincy Herman. Fresh legs
but the
intent, in the midfield.
The intent from Hanya in that situation was right. Get the ball and start running at Tosh. Give him a problem to deal with. That's the first time in the game I think somebody put the ball down and tried to run at him and take him on. And you can see wasn't able to deal with it that comfortably. It's going to be interesting to see the fresh legs now of Herman and Fjeldberg coming into the game. If they're able to bring some revitalized energy and start to put Tosh under pressure in the similar way that Hanya did in that situation just before he's exiting the field. But he had that's probably the first time we've mentioned him so far in this game in the 65th minute. He's far too quiet out there tonight. Need to get himself involved in the game more.
After a couple of seasons with Colorado Rapids too, making the impact here with 3 goals for Switchbacks, but not tonight as we get a whistle, a foul, and a booking as well. All in one sequence, and Quincy Herman gets booked within seconds of coming onto the field. Bookings brought to you by Bone Dry Roofing.
So an introduction to the game. His first touch ended up chasing it, giving a foul away and getting a yellow card.
These two sides regain a lead here in this match. Colorado Springs scored first in the 16th minute. 11 minutes later, after Foster gave the Switchbacks the lead, Elijah Winder equalized. Harris bounces it away. It's Gleedle. Right back, Harris.
I think it's clear that in order to be defensively solid, you have to give a little bit away offensively. In other words, if you want to be defensively solid, you're not going to be able to throw as many bodies forward in attack as you like to be. And to be an aggressively attacking team, you have to be able to concede the numbers that you're going to have defensively. And I think that's kind of where Louisville City sit right now. They're definitely a very offensive-minded team, but as a championship-minded team, they also want to be a little bit more solidified defensively. They throw a lot of bodies forward when they're attacking, which leaves them susceptible on the counter-attack defensively, as you saw here. There's Damas again, almost in a 1v1 situation there up against Mahoney. The pass is a little bit misplaced, but you can see the danger and the threat that's always there on the counter-attack.
Already saw Damas get a breakaway, would draw a penalty. He would miss that penalty, however. Here's a foul whistle against Koa Santos. Remember, he's playing on a yellow.
Yeah, I think he's reluctant, but he doesn't see his second yellow for this. It's a little bit late and a little bit clumsy, in all fairness. He just needs to stay a little bit calmer, or he'll put his team in a very disadvantaged position. I think the referee's letting him know that's his last one. Next one will be an early shower.
James Chambers said when his team is at his best, one of the key parts is being solid defensively and wants his team to be a little bit more consistent getting the ball back. And it's been a little bit of a struggle here in the second half against this confident Louisville City side that leads the league in wins, goals, and goal differential this season. Their goal tally is 10 more than any other team in the league entering the night.
Yeah, and I think everybody wants that Rhode Island night, right, where you come out and beat the league leaders 5-2, but that's not really realistic. If you're able to come here and steal a point against the top of the league team at home in their own stadium, that's a good night. There's still a long time left to play here, and in all honesty, they'll be kicking themselves for not leaving here with 3 points, given some of the clear-cut chances that they've had in this game. A gift, one of them, from the PK spot that they were unable to convert. So if they're able to leave with a point, it's not a bad result whatsoever, but there's still a lot of time left to play, and right now the pressure is turning up in favor of Louisville City.
Off of the race start, Davila switches fields, ending up harmlessly out of play. 70th minute, we sit at 1 apiece. Switchbacks winless in their last 4. While Lou City is 7-1 at home this season. former Guyana midfielder Chris Nurse, Michael Watrang, our team, enjoying this match with you. How will the final 20 minutes of this one turn out? Two clubs with eyes set on being leaders in their respective conferences.
You can see the work that Damas is having to do right now. He's having to press Sharpie, he's having to press Ordonez, he's having to press Tosh. It's a lot of work for him to do up there on his own. When they're winning possession of the ball, they're trying to play into his feet, and it's 3 against 1. He's not able to sustain possession of the ball, so they have to get back to what was effective for them, getting on the counter-attack, putting the ball in behind, getting Louisville's team, or their defense specifically, facing their own goal.
Here's Elijah Winder in the middle of the field. Danny Cruz said that he's learned a lot of the intricacies of how he's had to play this year at 21. Off of the giveaway, though. It's a turn from Foster, the goal scorer in this match for Colorado Springs. On the pivot and the turn, bending it back out. Santos bounces it in.
They got to find Foster more with the ball, if you ask me. He's a player who, when he gets it, very dynamic, very agile, good in tight spaces, and he wants to run at players with the ball. He wants to take them on. This is the exciting, the flair part that's missing from the game a lot. Is players who are willing to get the ball down and take a little bit of risk and take players on.
So Switchbacks make another change, and Ronaldo Damas, who has had to put in such a high work rate tonight, is coming out of the match, and he gives way to Juan Tejada. It'll be a frustrating night in total for Damas. Had a breakaway, drew a penalty, and then missed, hit the right bar in his chance that would have given them the lead at the end of the first half.
Yeah, he's had the opportunity tonight to take his goal tally from 8 up to 10. One was unable to convert, and he's used a lot of energy in this in this game so far, 70 minutes so far, and having to chase down those 3 defenders and make those runnings behind. You can imagine his gas tanks just running a little bit empty, and head coach James just wants to freshen things up top and bring in some fresh legs. So Tejada has 20, a little more than 20 minutes to put in some work and try and get himself on the score sheet. Poses a little bit of a different threat to Damas. Damas has that electric pace in behind. Tejada, on the other hand, may just do a better job of allowing them to keep possession and holding up the ball for them and allowing them to get players higher up the field.
New City with just 2 shots on frame at this point. It matches season low. Gleedle splits 2 defenders with that pass. Serrano retreats. Now accelerates and cannot hold on to it. Colorado Springs back on it.
Williams has done a good job in the middle of the park today, breaking up play.
Excellent work there by Sharpie. It's Harris now springing forward. Scrambling defensively.
Good defensive work from both teams right now. Players just intercepting passes, willing to put their body on the line, breaking up plays. But this is the difference we see here. Herrera doesn't want to make those runs in behind as early as Damas would have. Damas would have already been exploiting that space. He was more of a hold-up player. He wants the ball to his feet.
Herman. Santos. In Rocha. Still no second half shot attempts officially logged by Colorado Springs. They haven't had one now 37 minutes. Almost the last 10 shots in this match have all come from Lou City. But still 1 apiece on the scoreboard.
Good possession from Colorado, but questioning purpose. It's passing, keeping possession, but I don't see that intent to then find the runners in behind or to find Malik Foster isolated 1v1 up against a defender where he can work his magic.
Quarter hour to go in this match. Gleedle takes over. Looking for help. Serrano, the target of this pass, is able to latch on. And it works out well. Gleedle on the wide side. Spins it in. Harris disguises that ball, unable to get it all the way through. And now Tejada. Game could open up here in the final quarter hour. Tejada slams on the brakes. Louisville 2024 ticket packages are available now. Lou City's next home match is on July 27th at 8 p.m. Bring your family and friends to Lynn Family Stadium when the boys in purple face Monterey Bay FC. Tickets are available at loucity.com/tickets.
I think James Chambers needs to get his team organized. There's a couple moments now where players are turning over possession awkwardly, and the attitude, the mentality, the focus in transition defense just isn't there right now. And against a team like Louisville can punish you.
Oh, here's a giveaway in the midfield. A long shot. Lost gets a left paw to it. Herman denied. Santos recycles. Another chance in. Doesn't make it past the line of defense for Lou City.
You can see a few players for Colorado Springs struggling to get back when it comes to transition to defense. And this is where the game can be won or lost. It's in these moments in the second half when bodies get tired, minds get tired, and players stop making those hard runs in behind.
There's 39 minutes between shots for Switchbacks. Foster to the line. That ball ricochets out. It's off of Tejada.
And this is what we spoke about. Can we get Foster the ball more frequently, getting running at players, taking players on, winning opportunities, free kicks, corners in the attacking third. This is what he does best, and they need to feed him the ball more frequently.
Two more Fortuna subs here. Dylan Maris and Jansen Wilson come into the match. Serrano and Morris see their shifts come to an end. Wilson, 23 years of age, played collegiately at Belmont in his first season as a pro. Maris, a veteran, 11th pro season. Has been well traveled in his time. 32 years of age.
Louisville's roster is kind of confusing sometimes, right? You have two De Villas. On the field, we had Wilson Harris. Then we have another Wilson coming in. I feel like we always have name duplicates. I feel like we always have name duplicates with Louisville City.
We earn our money on nights like tonight.
In Orange County, you had the Orlovsky brothers.
Yep. Fans, tune in to ESPN2 for USL Summer of Soccer Showdown between Eastern Conference rivals in the USL Championship. It's Pittsburgh Riverhounds and Hartford Athletic as they battle to stay in the race for playoff contention. Saturday, July 20th at 7 p.m. So off of the restart now. This match felt like we'd have several goals this evening, but here in the second half, neither side has been able to find an additional goal after the opening 45 minutes of play.
Yeah, and I think what Colorado Springs have lost in the past 5 or 10 minutes since the substitutions come in, they've lost their strength, their organization, their stability that's allowed them to be successful in this game so far. Now, the midfield is a little bit disorganized and stretched. It's not as tight and compact. And when the ball goes past them, you're not seeing players turn around and defend with that same energy that you were seeing in the first 65 minutes. There's a little bit of lackluster, especially from the players coming into the game. Looking at Phil Berg on that left-hand side, he struggles to get his defensive shape quickly. We can see he's very good in possession with the ball at his feet, but this game is going to be won with the work that's done defensively when the players don't have possession of the ball.
Maris. Angles wide, redirects Sharpie.
And we spoke about Colorado Springs being the away team and coming away with a point from this game. It's obviously not a win, but you would take that as a win against Louisville City, the form that they've been, being in their home stadium, being the away team. It's a very, very positive point. If you don't stay tight, disciplined, and organized, it's only a matter of time before they're going to take advantage of you. So the success is going to be built on, which it has been for this team for the most part, is being compact, organized, very difficult to break down. they kind of lost that in the past 5 or 10 minutes.
Lou City has scored 11 times in the final 10 minutes of matches this year. Looking for that magic here tonight. 80th minute, tied at 1 apiece. Foster opened it for Switchbacks in the 16th minute. Winder leveled it in the 27th minute. 10 more minutes plus stoppage time remain. Michael Watring, Chris Nurse, and our team buckling up for the finish line of this one. Colorado Springs just 2 shots here in the second half, but Foster can make magic happen 1v1. 4 defenders around him now. Fjellberg gets the right foot. Fjellberg hits the crossbar. Heart sank in Louisville, but it just misses a go-ahead goal.
And we spoke about the trade-off. If you want to be offensive, you kind of have to concede that you're not going to have so much numbers or strong defenders, and I think that's what Fjellberg just showed there. His defensive transition hasn't been great, but you showed that he has the ability when he has the ball at his feet to have moments of magic.
Wes Banco replay shows this. Look at this hit from Jonas Fjellberg.
Just gets the ball out of his feet, tries to bend it into the far corner. Not far at all, inches away from dipping off the crossbar and into the back of the net.
Damian Loss did not have that covered. So that is now 2 posts hit by Colorado Springs. One was the Damas penalty kick. The other, that Fjellberg chance, the 25-year-old from Norway. Fjellberg again. Shuffles around a defender. Turned away by Davila. Foster. Mahoney. Harris forces him to retreat. Fans head to Twitter to vote on tonight's Lynn Family Sports Vision and Training Man of the Match. Poll will be open for the next 10 minutes. Vote now at twitter.com/Lou City.
Probably a little more than 10 minutes left in this game with added time.
Only 5 times prior to tonight, Lou City has been denied scoring multiple goals in a match. Their 2.50 goals per game this season is very close to the USL Championship record set by Phoenix in 2019 of 2.62. But this has been a time period where Lou City has scuffled just a little bit, losing 3 of the last 5. Harris keeps his feet for a moment, but does draw the foul. Harris, 11 goals this season, has been so close. The 4th official is saying that they'd like to make the change, and you can hear the coaching staff saying we want to wait till the next one. So all sorts of confusion now. Wilson Harris had taken the captain's armband off, and now he's all the way to midfield, and he will give way to Niall McCabe.
Interesting. The referees, the 4th official ended up making the substitution. Danny Cruz is saying that he doesn't want the substitution to be done right now, and the 4th official waves him off and away. He's a little frustrated, to say the least.
So instead, this cross goes in. It ricochets around, but a foul. is whistled. That'll erase that chance.
Had it ended up in a goal, I don't think Danny Cruz would have been complaining, but looks like the whistle was blown in advance of the ball going into the back of the net.
How many times has a ball gone into the net tonight that's been waved off? That's twice by Lou City.
How many times have the match officials made your substitutions?
We've checked the box of so many different sequences here tonight. Couple posts it. A foul that could have been argued for a penalty kick. A couple goals wiped away by fouls. And yet here we stand. Less than 5 minutes plus stoppage time remains in a 1-1 tally. Gleedle laces it back. Gleedle gets back onto it. Looks for a little bit of an angle. Can't find it. Tosh debates.
Number of changes for both teams right now.
This ball curled in. It comes out. Davila shoots. Or check that was McCabe instead, and it gets blocked away.
Herrera does well to get connection on this ball. I just feel like he needs to punch it into a better area. He punches it here, but it lands right on the edge of the box here. A better first touch. And he gets a good strike off with his second touch. Unfortunately, the first touch wasn't that great.
87th minute. Colorado Springs have given up 5 goals after the 85th minute this season.
Ball was falling to McCabe there on the edge of the box. He was unable to get it down strong enough to get a shot off. McFadden looked like talking himself into the referee's book there. Referee says no more of that.
'88th minute. Waiting for this cross and still waiting. Finally, everybody breaks away, and we're ready for this Wi-Fi corner. McCabe frisbees the ball to the back post. It's an empty header from McFadden, and Herrera saves the day.
Criminal defending from this set piece for Colorado Springs. I'm not sure how McFadden finds himself at the back post, completely unchallenged, all alone. Does well to get his head on it and guide it on target. But Herrera comes up big with a save, but who's taking responsibility of marking him there? Nobody.
This time they do better handling the initial attempt. And it trickles all the way out yet again. Corner kicks aplenty.
We had to be at corner kick 15. They take it short.
I think it's 13. Here's this ball, looped in, Gleedle shot, bangs around, Ordonez heads, cleared off the line.
Ooh.
Not done yet, Gleedle unable to stride to it, it's sent away. Clamors for a handball before Wilson. Davila gets taken out, it's a foul, and it's a free kick.
Louisville keeping the pressure on in these closing phases. Ball just bouncing around everywhere, ricocheting, headers off the line.
So it sets up a free kick, sponsored by Fifth Third. McCabe rifles this ball in, a couple ricochets. Foster pivots away.
Just using that pace to relieve some of the pressure.
Lou City was described by James Chambers as clinically ruthless. We're starting to see some of that here down the stretch. And we're going to get a stoppage with Foster down, holding on to his head.
It'll be interesting to see what the referee calls here, but I envision we're going to see a substantial amount of additional time given the stoppages that we've had in the past 5 or 6 minutes. I think this stoppage actually works in favor of Colorado Springs because the momentum was definitely in favor of Louisville City and it was building up, and this free kick just kind of takes the sting, takes the momentum out, slows things down, allows Colorado Springs to get a breather and get a little bit of a break and get themselves reorganized. As we spoke about, I think since the substitutions happening in around the 70th minute, Colorado Springs have become a little bit less organized than they were for 3/4 of this game.
Tonight's man of the match, sponsored by Lynn Family Sports and Vision Training. It's Elijah Winder, his equalizer in the 27th minute.
Yeah, I think
gives him that honor.
I think I agree with Danny Cruz that he has a bright, bright future ahead of him. Defensively, does a lot of work, breaks up play, able to drive forward with the ball, and we've seen he has the capability also to finish plays. I think rightfully tonight's man of the match for Louisville City.
Danny Cruz said it. He is a critical piece of how we want to play. 6 minutes of stoppage time brought to you by Louisville Airport. Do one of these two sides have a late winner? Sharpie winds up the right-hand side of the field. Fjellberg hit a crossbar moments ago. It's taken away from him, however. Davila sprinting in. Davila low liner. Covered in the end by Herrera.
Yeah, and this is where game management matters. The experienced players on the field have to take responsibility of managing the game right now. The final 4 minutes, you're away from home. Lock up shot, be responsible in possession. For Colorado Springs, leaving Louisville with 1 point is not a bad result whatsoever. For Louisville City, of course, they're trying to push the game and try to get those 3 points tonight.
I'm not sure when it happened, but Jairo Enriquez is on the pitch. He was standing next to the official when he showed the stoppage time.
Yeah, very interesting substitution, because you'd think that Colorado Springs are thinking about locking up the game right now and seeing things out, but they bring on offensive substitution, Jairo Enriquez.
He throws it in. Tejada stumbles, glides away, gives it right back. Enriquez finds very little resistance before crossing it in.
And this is where you have to do your defensive work. This is where you're tired in the game. You have to dig deep. You have to make those lung-busting runs.
Gleedle gets taken out.
Ideally, you try not to give away these type of free kicks. He could have just defended well. There wasn't really any threat from Gleedle in this area. If he just gets pressure on him, keeps him facing the touchline or facing back towards his own goal, you have a better chance of winning the ball. Now you're just giving away a free kick, and they have the opportunity now to get everybody forward and put the ball into the box.
3rd minute of stoppage time. Lou City has scored 3 times at this stage or later this season.
McCabe has come into the game as the dead ball specialist. He's been on everything.
High arcer deep into the night sky. Herrera, rather than catch it, just punches at it and is very fortunate. Enriquez was over there. Fjellberg. Long ball sent forward. Tejada sprints around. The flag staying down.
He's on his own, though.
Juan Tejada trying to find space. Tejada lines it up and shoots it high.
Offensively, Tejada and Fjellberg have had a little bit of a positive effect when they come into the game. They've made the team a little bit more susceptible defensively. Neither player has defending as their focus, but in offense, they've definitely given it a little bit of spark to the team. Fjellberg has some great touches, some great vision, the ability to play some beautiful through passes.
eFootball 2024 is here. Live your dream, rep your team, and play as your favorite USL Championship club. eFootball is free to play. Download it now. 2 more minutes or so to go in this matchup. Will one of these two sides get the full complement of points? It is a takeaway. Dylan Maris is in. Maris, a redirect. Gleedle had an empty net. It's back out. Davila shoots. And it bounces off of the defender, and it is yet another corner, number 14 of the night.
Brilliant defending here. First, give Herrera an applaud. Last week, made 2 mistakes that you can claim cost you the game. Today, he's made a save that's probably kept you in this game going into the last 2 minutes. And then it's Williams again on the edge of the box, makes a block in the 94th minute, a critical block.
Low liner in. It's bounced out. Ordonez goes back to the corner. Left-footed cross, hurling in, ricocheting! It is Sean Tosh! Who else would it be? A winner in the 5th minute of stoppage time by the 32-year-old. Lou City leads 2-1.
Heartbreak for Colorado Springs Switchback, but Tosh has come up big again. He had a chance earlier in the game, but this is what he does time and time again. The unsuspecting goal scorer. For me, this is where it starts from. Herman has to get out quicker and put real pressure on this ball. He doesn't. De Vere has the time to take a touch with the sole of his foot, pick his pass, picks out Tosh in the box, and Tosh makes no mistake. But Herman has to do a better job of more urgency getting out there and shutting down the cross. And he doesn't. He kind of ambles out there at 50% and is punished because of it. James Chambers will probably be heartbroken that they've lost in this way. He'll be proud of the way they fought, proud of the way they compete, but devastated with the way they've lost this game. A moment's elapsed, defending that's not intense enough. Sean Tosh doing what Sean Tosh does. One of the USL's highest scoring defenders over the years.
That goal presented by Kentucky Lottery, fueling imagination, funding education. Kentucky Lottery. Sean Tosh, the 3-time first-team All-League selection, his 4th goal of the season. Probably secures 3 points, and in doing so ensures that Lou City will stay atop the Eastern Conference table.
There's been a couple moments that have disappointed me or frustrated me for Colorado Springs, and it's just the transition to defense since the changes are coming to the game, and the intensity and the focus and the willingness to go and defend well. For me, when that ball gets headed out and it's going out to De Vere and you see it's going to him, somebody has to go and put pressure and stop the cross. They don't stop the cross. He takes a touch, whips in a great ball, and Sean Tosh finishes it. For me, it starts with the attitude and the intensity towards defending. I think James Chambers will still be proud of the way his team came to Louisville and competed, but he'll be extremely frustrated with some of the moments of defending and some of the focus and attitude and application towards defensive moments for those last 20 minutes of the game.
It's an 8th win at home and 9 tries for Lou City as they come back to win it with their 4th stoppage time winner of the year. With that Lou City win, you can head to any participating Louisville area Wendy's tomorrow to get a free small Frosty. No purchase necessary. Lou City hands Colorado Springs a 2nd consecutive loss after the Switchbacks had scored first, after they had to run a 16 in a row without a loss. And for the 4th time this year, the boys in purple bounce back after a loss with a win. The final 2-1, an exciting night here in Louisville, Kentucky. Chris and I will wrap things up and summarize an exciting night in the USL.
When you need inspiration, it's worth shopping Kroger, where you'll find over 30,000 mouth-watering choices with savings beyond low prices. Savings like digital coupons worth over $600 each week and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump. More savings and more inspiring flavors make Kroger worth it every time.
It's your thing. Do what you wanna do.
Kroger, fresh for everyone.
At Typical Insurance, you're just another senior.
That is the 3rd health insurance commercial with seniors at a farmer's market.
Right? Don't get me wrong, I love a fresh heirloom, but it's like those companies think we're all the same.
That's why I chose Humana. Before I signed up, I spoke to someone who actually listened to what I needed. She told me about benefits that were right for me, like vision and dental, all in my budget. I'm finally feeling control. What are you doing?
Taking control.
Humana, a more human way to healthcare.
All-wheel drive doesn't just mean off-roading. It means everyday living. That's why Toyota gives you the power of choice, with a choice of powertrains on the best-in-class Tundra, including the 437 horsepower iForce Max, which delivers the kind of summer fun Tundra is known for. Now get up to $2,000 customer cash on Tundra, or choose 1.99 APR financing, or a great low lease on Tundra. The choice is yours. Toyota, let's go places.
This postgame is presented to you by the Kentucky Office of Highway Safety, and Louisville City has overcome a deficit when conceding first for the 2nd time this year. Meanwhile, Colorado Springs, after being unbeaten in their first 10 when scoring first, they've now lost back-to-back matches. Michael Watring, Chris Nurse, recapping the night as we take a look at the highlights from this one, and it was an early start and a good start for the Switchbacks.
Yeah, great run in behind there. Composure of the first touch, buries into the back of the net on his second touch. Foster gives the 1-0 lead for Colorado Switchbacks. Probably should have been 2-0 had Damas take his chance earlier in the game.
Yeah, Switchbacks would miss some really good opportunities throughout, but for the time being, they had the lead. But set pieces proved to be critical in this one. Lou City had so many chances. This time, it was Elijah Winder.
Yeah, you just see players switch off here. You have to stay with your marker until the ball's cleared to safety. And even when it ricochets here, it's an unfair ricochet, but you still have to mark your players until the ball's cleared. And you see Winder is here on the back post, all alone, makes no mistake, bending this into the far corner to get the equalizing goal.
Winder scoring, it was one apiece. And 10 minutes after that, we had maybe some would question this being a penalty as Amadou Dia came back against Damas, who was in for 8, but it was a penalty. Damas hits the post.
Yeah, you know my thoughts. I thought justice was served. I thought Dia makes a great tackle there. Damas hits the post. Could have been his second for the night. Wasn't to be for him today.
And then our move of the game presented by Toyota. It's, again, off of another set piece, a 14th corner. It's Sean Tosh scoring the game winner.
Yeah, for me, I'm frustrated with the pressing. Your fresh legs coming into the pitch there. Some of the players get out there, shut down the cross, don't allow him to deliver it. If you're going to give De Villa that time and space to deliver those balls in the final moments of the game, you're going to get punished. And they did. Sometimes this game can be really cruel.
Now, how about the numbers in this one? 21 total shots for Lou City, 14 in the second half. As many corners as they had as well. So many of those chances. If you're Colorado Springs, you get 2 posts. You very much felt like you could have taken a point or maybe 3 points tonight. It's Lou City that does.
Yeah, I think James Chambers would be frustrated, a little bit gutted in the way they've lost the past 2 games. They played well, they created chances, just little lapses in concentration and focus have cost them. As we said, walking away tonight with a point wouldn't have been a bad result at all. However, they end up leaving with nothing after a decent performance for 3/4 of the game.
Colorado Springs has dropped a match when scoring first for the 2nd consecutive week. Meanwhile, Lou City scores in the final 15 for a league-leading 12th time. They've now gone 10 straight unbeaten following a loss as they win it here tonight. Lou City now 8-1 at home. Final score brought to you by Gorski Law Office. It's Sean Tosh's heroics this evening in Louisville that gives the boys in purple a 2-1 win over the Switchbacks. For our entire crew and my partner, Chris Nurse, I'm Michael Watring signing off. Thanks so much for watching. Good night, everybody.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.